Okay, so it's day 25. They said it took about 7 to 25 days for anything to bloom or blossom. I'm not saying anything, even in the other two spots, I won't even show you, but, yeah, no. Day 25, 3+ weeks, still nothing, but we got a few more issues, and maybe even the volume, something will happen. But for now, a little barren.
Okay, so this week I'm going to be talking about House of X number 4 and Powers of 10 number 4. I'm going to say a few nice things about this issue first, and then basically I'm just gonna tear apart the design of it. I've been complaining about certain logs or certain ads or the way things are set up in the issues, and honestly this one seems to be like the worst of them for whatever reason. So I'll give you a quick recap, and then we're just gonna dig at it. We're just gonna tear this thing apart, right? So the first thing that I'm going to bring up is the reading order for this book. Not that the reading order is wrong in the issue, but I just really want to make it a case that people really need to read number 3 and number 4 together. It's the same event, there's no space in between them, and so you can read these together in one go and not lose any of the momentum. I definitely recommend that. I realize that they have been doing house and power sets rather than like number sets, which is going to be really interesting later for the volume, because I feel these should be a set rather than these two being a set. And so I don't know if they're going to do 2 books and split them up, and if that's the case, then 3 and 4 are totally fine. If they're going to do 1 book and put them in the correct order that it says in the back, I don't know why they just didn't have it 1 through 12 in one series. I haven't quite figured out why they're named 2 different things and what the importance of it is, but really, do yourself a favor, go straight from house number 3 to number 4 if you can. Maybe it's different reading it as it comes out weekly. I imagine you wouldn't care about the matching or the 2 numbers or anything like that, but it just feels really strange for them to do and completely mess up the order and their own. I don't know. It just feels weird to me. So this one picks up right where number 3 lets off. Number 3, the ending's a little tragic, and so this is the immediate aftermath for it. It probably will break your heart. So here we have the title page for our issue. They are getting shorter. This one's only 2 words. That's not necessarily the problem for this one, but I'm going to be using this as an example later. This also has the Xavier Alpha at the bottom when it answers my Magneto Omega, but still the you and me thing makes it sound a little bit romantic, and I know they're buddies, but I just love to think of it in a loving manner. Looking at this now, clearly this says House of X number 4, and then of course we've got our little saying down here. It says, the House of Xavier and the way we treat our children. So again, it was a really great issue, really great art, really great colors. I really don't want to spoil anything. And then, of course, we hit a fold-out ad. Now, I'll give it to them. This one feels a lot better than the first one, like it's actually tied into the book. Hypes you up for the series that are going to be coming out after House and Powers. Really nice art, really nice variety of things. Again, I know it's just ads, nobody cares about it, but we get to the end of the book and it's just this really emotional, tragic, heavy moment, and it ends on no more. And I like this no more thing. I just don't feel like it should have been the opening quote as well as the heavy ending quote. It almost feels like a spoiler. I feel like they maybe should have had something recap in the beginning or reference the last issue or quote somebody that something just happened to. Just something better than 2 no mores. Okay, like, it's silly, it's a silly thing, right? Like, it's the smallest of complaints. Until they did this. I have been complaining about the fold-out ads because there are other opportunities that they can use the fold-outs for. This one being the biggest miss so far. So they have this really, really awesome looking like propaganda piece that someone did, and they just completely butchered it. I mean, like, flipping through here at first is really neat, and it's not a log, it's not random information, it's nothing whole, it's this abstract piece, and it's cut into pieces. And so it's literally like cut in the middle of words, cut in the middle of images. I thought this was like, I don't even know what this was until I turned it around. Like, I thought this was a map, and then I realized that it's Xavier's helmet or something, and that it kind of is like the Xavier that's in the know. I don't know. There's no reason this shouldn't be a poster. There's no reason this shouldn't be folded out. I can take it out of the book. I can put it up on the wall. Like, it's such a cool piece, and it just doesn't make sense in this design. This could be a shirt, and I think people would buy it. Like, this should have been a poster, and people come in and see it, and you can tell them about the greatest X-Men story that's ever existed. Nope. Butchered instead. Just cut up. And then we get to the reading order. And it's not that I'm mad that I didn't get a free poster. It's not that I'm mad that they have folded ads. It's just bummed that they didn't take that extra leap. That nobody else saw that opportunity. They could have changed the game. They could have given people just a little bit more for their money. They could have given people a reason to collect this in issues instead of waiting for the volume. And instead, I get this cut up abstract art that I'm never going to be able to use or really appreciate because it's in pieces like that. That combined with like the fake, weird ads, secret code, not so secret, like, I don't know. And I don't know if they're gonna have another series anytime soon where they'll have an opportunity to do something like that. And I think this one could have been extra special, and maybe I'm just demanding too much, but great issue story-wise. Really, really bummed out about the art piece in the back. That's it. That's all I got. Alright, so the next one up is Powers of 10, number 4. Nothing too crazy about this cover. There's a few like faces way in the back that are a little menacing. But it looks like everyone's finally coming together, and I'm gonna say finally, because we only have 4 more of these left. So let's get started. So here we have a quote from Professor Xavier, and nothing else too exciting. It seems we're not doing the long intros anymore. They're just jumping straight to the title page. And again, looking at this and looking at this is just Powers of and number 4. So this one says Sinister with the cape and the end. And I have no idea about Sinister. I have no idea about what the end could possibly be, considering there's 6 more series that are coming after this. But I can tell you that this issue was pretty dang fabulous. It was a lot funnier than I was expecting, especially after what just happened. I think they needed to make this issue a little bit lighthearted. But essentially, Xavier and Magneto go to Sinister and tell him, hey, we know you're working on this database for DNA. If you could make mutant DNA a priority, that would be great. There's also pretty much just the history of the island Krakoa. And I know I say it all the time, but honestly, the art the lighting, the colors for this one. It's also just a quick glimpse into the year 1000 section or arc or whatnot. Just reminds me so much of his East of West, and I wonder if any of that actually inspired any of House and Powers. We have another quote from Professor X and the reading order. So next time we're starting with House of X number 5. It's also gonna be one of the 3 red issues. The last one that was a red issue was the one about Mora and her mutant powers and her backstory. So I wonder if this is going to be anyone in particular, if the red issues connect together, what is exactly special about them, or if it's all for bells and whistles, because that's what I'm starting to feel like at this point. And it's not anything to do with the story, it's literally the setup and the feel of the issues. And I just wonder if it's anything that can be fixed or restored or whatnot in the volume. I'm also really I keep saying it, but I'm excited to see the reading order, if it's 1 book or if it's 2 when they put this all together. Are we going to have to wait for an omnibus for both of them? Are they just going to put it in one because of the way it needs to be read? Who knows? Find out next time on